Hey, welcome to week number 2 of our coaching program. Good to see you again. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. This week we're talking about market selection, and we're also talking about if you have an existing list or if you have no list whatsoever. So let's start with if you already have a list, because several people in this group already have a list or already have a business with a list, with a prospect list or an opt-in list or customer list. So with this coaching model, here's the best way to get started with a list. This is how I did it with my Marketing Camelot list and my opt-in list. So ask yourself, what is a hot button thing they have? And that is the correct way to spell thing, because that's the way my mother always used to pronounce it. So what's their hot button thing? And I mean, that's kind of obvious if you've got a list in the bodybuilding market. Well, we know what their hot buttons are in that market. So, we know what they want. We know the problems that they have that they want solved. What are the problems that keep them up at night and all that stuff. So if you already have a relationship with your list, you probably have a whole a long list of hot button things. But here's most importantly, the hot button things. What can you offer? What kind of high ticket coaching program can you offer to show them how to get what they want or how to solve the hot button problem? Here's the even better way to find that out. Just ask, because you know what? Your customers or your opt-in list may tell you ideas that you never would have thought of, aside from the obvious, like in the bodybuilding example. Well, of course, they want to build muscle mass and they want to get ripped and get leaner. But you know what? They may tell you some stuff that you never would have thought of. So just ask. And it doesn't have to be that complicated. I just sent out an email just this morning to my knights in the Marketing Camelot, asking them this question. What is it you want from me? I think maybe it was one sentence or two sentences. Or what are you not seeing in the market that you'd like to see from me? And let's make it as simple as possible. And that's no need to complicate things. No need to get some highfalutin software that'll compile the answers and all that stuff. Unless you want to. That stuff is out there. Here's what I did. I just said, hit reply to this email and tell me your answer. And, those emails go to Jackie, but she makes sure that she either compiles them all into one place where I can see them, or she just forwards them to me. So no need to complicate things. Just send out an email and ask. Your own customers or your own opt-in list may just hand you the best ideas on a silver platter for the coaching program that you could start. Let's talk about if you don't have a list. Here's the process to go through if you're still figuring out what you want to be when you grow up. So you're still figuring out what is your ideal target market for your coaching practice. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to identify your dream client and then validate that choice to make sure that is a market that you can work with. And find out, are there enough people in that market to support your bad habits, whatever those bad habits may be in your case. In my case, those are sleeping indoors and eating regularly. So are there enough people in your chosen market to support those habits? Is there a way that you can reach them? So as far as identifying your ideal client or your ideal market, here's a great question to ask yourself. If you could only get paid based on the results you get your clients, who would you choose to work with? And let me throw something else out there. This is what I ask myself. What is the laydown, which I define as just something so easy I could do it in my sleep. So who is the person, or what is the market you can get results for the easiest? Not because I'm encouraging you to be lazy like me, but because when you identify that ideal client or that ideal market, those will also be the easiest for you to sell on your coaching or on your high ticket solution or consulting or whatever it is you choose to sell. So let's start with defining your dream client. Start making a list of who is your dream client. And let's start with the basics. I mean, man or woman, what kind of income range? Are they in a specific profession? We start getting into some, psychographic stuff here. They conservative or liberal? Do they subscribe to certain publications? And other psychographic stuff, their likes, birds of a feather flock together. So, can you form a picture of your ideal dream client in your head? Like, is it men age, between 45 and 65? They average income is 180,000 a year. They're dentists. They're conservative. They subscribe to Investors Business Daily. They drive an American-made car, stuff like that. Define it as tightly and specifically as possible. And I'll go through an example here. If I were wanting to promote myself as a marketing consultant, here would be my ideal client. This is what I consider the laydown. Like, I can get these guys results with both hands tied behind my back and in my sleep when I'm drunk. This is just a laydown for me. That's anybody who sells high ticket products or services. Why? Because they can afford to justify my just obscenely high priced consulting services if I were currently wanting to sell myself as a marketing consultant. Somebody who sells a high ticket item, they don't need to sell very many more than they're already selling for them to justify working with you and paying your expense. Somebody who understands the importance of marketing. I've tried to educate people on marketing, and it's futile. So I already want to work with somebody, or I want to work with somebody who already understands the importance of marketing. Somebody who's direct marketing savvy. I don't want to have to educate anybody on direct response marketing. If I hear another person tell me, my God, nobody reads that much copy, I think I'm just going to hit them upside the head with an Olympic 45-pound plate. Somebody who's currently spending money on marketing. Obviously, if they understand the importance of marketing, I want to see that they're putting their money where their mouth is, so to speak. This is just my thing. Again, a salt of the earth person. I mean, this would be my idea of a laydown here if I were wanting to sell myself as a marketing consultant. So that's me defining my ideal client, my laydown. So let's talk about how to validate your market selection. And I'm actually going to show you how to do it, because here's my big honkin' secret, Info USA. And I'll bring that up right now. Here's infousa.com. What this is a list brokerage. But they give you these tools to go in here and do selects and find people, find markets basically narrow down and target down to find your ideal client or your ideal market. We're not going through this exercise today to actually find a list and rent a list. We're doing this as intelligence gathering. And let's go through here you have two options: create a business list, create a consumer list. Because I'm selfish, and not only do I want to show you an example, I'm thinking of doing a little project myself, and I want to check into dentists, specifically cosmetic dentists, as a potential audience, because cosmetic dentists, I think they could check off all those boxes I went through in the example. They sell a high price service. So I'm going to click create a business list. So to show you how I'm going to do this research. Obviously, if you're going to work with consumers, you click this. We just want to validate and see if in this example, our ideal client or ideal market is something that there's enough of them and, to support our bad habits of sleeping indoors and eating. And let's just see what we find out on here. I haven't gone through this prior to this recording, so you're seeing this live as I'm doing it. All right, so search for an industry type, or business name. Okay, so let's do, well, I guess I could search here. We could also pick an industry category from the list. Let's do a search. First, let's just do dentists first and see what comes up. Dentist, singular. Let's see what happens. Huh, interesting. Dentist resumes, okay. Dentist information bureaus, dentist service organization. You may also be interested in, interesting. Orthodontics, endodontics. I have no idea what that is. General dentistry. Orthodontics. Somewhat of a specialized thing. Oral surgery. Just for the fun of it, let's see if they have cosmetic dentists. Cosmetic dentist. I'll be darned. Cosmetic dentistry. All right, let's check that. Okay, now here, see this count here? It says you currently have 10,664 yada 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 leads. Each time we check off one of these selects, SELECTS, in case you can't understand my Ohio Midwest accent, you can go up here and click update count and see what that comes to. So it's going to cut it down quite a bit. If there were 10 million cosmetic dentists, I'd be amazed. All right, so we're at 6,905. All right, so no, I'm not also interested in these, at least not right now. But if you were to go through this, there may be some other selects on here that you'd want to check out. Maybe let's just, for the fun of it, let's check general dentistry and do an update to the lead count and see what we got. So yeah, a lot more. But I'm not sure I want those guys. I have no idea what endodontics is, but let's see if there's a bunch of them. Not many, about as many as there are cosmetic dentists. So let's just stick with cosmetic dentistry for right now. Okay. You can also select business in a particular geography, but since we can market to people all over the place, we're not going to worry about that. Here they are requiring you to select. So let's say we just wanted to, what is a more prosperous state? Certainly not Mississippi, where my mom is from. let's just, for the fun of it, let's see how many people, cosmetic dentists or dentistry offices are in Delaware. Update league, 24. Okay. So let's not select a geographic region. Let's just go ahead and continue. Obviously, if you just want to work locally, you'd have to do this. Number of employees, let's just go with all for now. Okay, sales volume. Here's another important way to start narrowing these down. Let's say we just want to work with the most successful. Let's see if there's any cosmetic dentists making $1 billion or more per year. Nope. Doesn't surprise me. But let's say, we identify that our ideal client is a cosmetic dentist. He's making between 5 and 10 million a year. Let's see how many of those there are. 16. Not a lot. So let's just stick with all again. Square footage, this is based on building size. I'm not worried about that. Here's an important one. Business expense. Okay. You have a drop down here on select a category. Remember I said I want people who are already spending money on marketing? Well, we can select a business expense of advertising. Okay. And then we get to select how much we want. Let's see how many cosmetic dentists are spending over $250,000 a year on advertising. Update our count. 3. Okay. Let's remove that. Let's see. Let's see how many are spending $50,000 to $100,000 a year on advertising. Update count. 26. So for now, let's just select all of them. At least we want people who are spending something. How about we skip the guys spending less than 5,000? Does that sound good? Let's see what the count is now. Update count. 4,488. Okay, so they've just suppressed all the cheapskates off the list. All right, we could select a contact person. I'm not going to worry about that for now. Location information, if you were so inclined. Here we have postal selects. Credit rating, imagine that. Ethnicity. Not interested in any of that. Congrats, I'm almost done. So there are 4,488 leads that match your criteria. And I think this is a pretty tightly targeted list. I could make this work. That's a nice size list. Let's just, for the halibut, let's go back here. There was general dentistry. Let's go back and select that. Okay, dentists. Let's do that one. All right, so we should have the selects from all the previous. Yep. Just double check. Yep. All right, so we still have all our selects from the previous. Let's see, update count. Yeah, 77,999 leads. We could definitely make this work. So this is how I go about, validating a market selection. This is an interesting little tool. There's something else I want to go back and search for. Let's see if I have. Did it give me the option of phone numbers? We're going to start over. Because it used to give you the option of phone numbers. In certain cases, email addresses. And I'll tell you why that's important in just a minute. Okay. See other selections. Oh, wait a minute. Man, I hope they didn't take that away. If they did, I'm going to be seriously depressed, and I'll tell you why. Location information. No. Contact person. Well, it looks like we may have to call these guys to get that kind of information. But here's why I like to get either phone numbers. Why I liked the option of getting phone numbers for this, because I can take these phone numbers when we're ready to start advertising for these guys. I can take these phone numbers, I can upload them into the Facebook advertising system and create a custom audience out of them. So I'm telling Facebook, I want guys like this, cosmetic dentists who are spending this much money on advertising, yada, yada, yada. And so it'll make a custom audience out of that. And it also, gives you the option, if these guys have Facebook accounts, it'll give you the option so your pay-per-click ad will only appear to them on Facebook. So my Facebook ads are only going to appear in front of these people with these dental clinics. In an ideal world. What I do not know is how many successful cosmetic dentists are spending a lot of time screwing around on Facebook. Now, the simple fact that they're successful tells me probably very few or none of them spend any time whatsoever on Facebook. But that's okay, because we can get their snail mail addresses here, which in my opinion is way more important. So, all right, so let's talk about your assignment for the week. If you already have a list, just ask them what they want. And again, you don't have to complicate it. Just do what I said. Send them an email. Tell them, hey, hit reply and tell me what you want from me. You have no list or no market yet, go through the finding your dream client process that I just showed you on here. That's it. That's your only assignment for the week. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. Forgot my last bullet. Validate that selection or those market ideas or ideal client ideas. Validate that on infousa.com. If you find that your whole universe is for people, you may not have the right market and you may have to go back to the drawing board. So certainly excited about discussing this with you on our open counseling call. And I'll look forward to that. Until then, I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.